Hello, this is Dread, and in today's video topic, we're going to be going over how I made 200 divines in over 2 days of gameplay, doing Einhar plus map rushing plus Sanctum rushing. And it was a really fun strategy. So TLDR, if you don't know what's going on, essentially we're going into the map, we're plucking the beasts that we want, killing only the beasts that we want, like Kragik, Chimerals and stuff like that. We're finding the Sanctum and then killing the boss and then leaving. This requires a build that's really good at moving quickly, and thankfully I'm playing Mirror Arrow, Blink Arrow, Necromancer, which means I can just literally Blink Arrow throughout the entire map, pop my Vault Haste, and it is very fast, to the point where if I'm on ATEL, it's about an average of 1 minute per map, and then like if it's Coves, it's like maybe 1 minute 30 to 2 minutes, because Coves is like a cancer layout, but it's well worth running that one so that we can run ATELs. Now, why is it only a 1 minute clear time, Dread? Well, it's because we're not actually killing all the beasts. We're only killing the ones that we want. And I'll show that later. But essentially, what happened was a few days ago, I had put out a video on Harvest plus Einhar plus Sanctum rushing. And it was okay. It was an okay strategy. But I realized we could do it better. And what I did was I took out all the harvest stuff and I put it into map rushing and more map duplication nodes and stuff like that. And like, of course, Searing Exarch stuff. And that literally took the process, like the whole grinding process, to a whole nother level. What is that? Well, it has been absolutely insane, as you can tell by my little notepad here. We got 57 Kragik Chimerals in over 2 days. That's like 30 a day. If you don't know, Kragik Chimerals went up in price. I can show you actually on Pewee Ninja. It actually shows us here. It went up by like 30 to 40%. And now they're like 1.5 divine each. So yeah, it's definitely worth farming beasts. Because right now, the Sextant on TFT is only like 30 chaos per. I bought some of mine 40 chaos per bulk, but I was buying like 50 at once, so it was well worth the time invested. This Sextant's really cheap. It might get way more expensive here soon, especially if I upload this video. So keep on a lookout for the charge compass and how much it costs for this strategy. But yeah, we're going to go into a map and I'm going to show you exactly like the down dirty of the strategy. One thing I'd like to note before we do that though, I did end up buying a Nimbus with the currency that I got real quickly, because there's a lot of people making videos on this build and I really wanted to grab it before it went up in price and it skyrocketed. So that's why I don't actually have 200 divines. We have a bunch of chaos and almost enough divines, and then of course the Nimbus put me over the edge. Of course, this was like 23 divines, which I just spent like just recently. But yeah, so the maps that we've been doing a shadow shaping setup, right? And we've been ping-ponging between ATEL and Coves. ATEL and Coves have really good map layouts for map rushing in general, specifically Coves. And with our strategy, with our shadow shaping, where we're blocking all of the maps around ATEL and Coves that are adjacent, it means that whenever there's an adjacency drop, which is through of course, all of our nodes here, which is like up to a 70% in the end, right? It means that it will only drop the map that is adjacent. So if I'm running an ATEL, I drop a Coves, and if I'm running a Coves, I drop an ATEL. That is great. That is wonderful, because it means that we can just rush these maps, not kill as much mobs as you normally would need to sustain, and it means that we can go as fast as humanly possible. And of course, all the duplication nodes are really good for the map stuff nodes. But yeah, so only Sextant I'd use the copy B Sextant. So one thing to note, Einhar, he has a bunch of nodes here where your red beasts have a chance to spawn in pairs. I think it's like 8% plus wherever else it is. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, 8%. So sometimes you'd get like 2 Kragik Chimerals in your map, right? Which would then become 4 Kragik Chimerals in total because of this. And you were coming out of that map with like 6 divines at least. and it is insane. Every single time you see a Fenimal Plague Arachnid, it's 100 chaos per. Every single time you got like a tiger, that's like 50 chaos. It is insanely strong thanks to the Sextant. The Sextant made the whole thing work. Of course, you put in the Atal. I was using Polish Scarabs because they're the cheapest. And for like bang for buck, you don't need more than this. You could go for Gilded, but the problem is they're like twice the price, but only give you one additional beast. So I didn't really think it was worth it. But yeah, let's go on a map here. So I'm going to go slower in the video, but remember, if I was just doing this by myself and I'm listening to music, I'm just gonna skip past stuff, but I want to explain things as I go. So here we have like yellow beasts, right? We have like a red beast, and I've gotten really good at telling which beast is good and which beast is not. That is not a good beast. We're looking for very specific beasts. This strategy rewards you for knowing exactly what you're looking for, right? Exactly what you're looking for. So I am looking for very specific beasts. That's not what I want. So we go in the Sanctum, grab the Sanctum. This build's really good at doing the Sanctum fast too. We have about an 8-minute floor time. It's actually even less if I like go quicker. I get some good spawns and stuff like that. That's a red beast we don't want, so we just continue on, right? And essentially all of this combined means that we can run maps fast, finish them fast, and while we're at it, we get to do the little side quests where we look for beasts, right? And as long as you run the maps correctly in the correct order, right, in terms of like where you go, you can actually do this much quicker than what I'm showing on screen here. I just wanted to go slower to explain myself. So you'd get like a map drop here some of the time. Then of course we go through, finish the rest. Look at that. That's not a beast I want. That's not a beast I want. That's not a beast I want. And as you can tell, I was very fast. You could, like I said, you go even faster if you stop talking and actually played the game. Yeah, that's like the whole strategy. That's it. And of course, you'd swap between coves and atolls. Now, of course, you'd stop if there was a good beast or if there's a good beast. And once you've done the strategy for long enough, you will definitely realize when there is a good beast and when there is not, because there's a lot of tells of when it is a good beast or not by just remembering what they look like, right? Remembering what they look like is really good. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the entire strategy. So we can go over how much everything gave us. I didn't go too much into detail because I'll be completely honest with you. I just wanted to grind this time around. I didn't want to keep a bunch of notes. So that's why my notes are very small this time around. So 57 Cricket Chimerals in 2 days. That is insane. Of course, like 90 Fenimal Plague Arachnids. If you don't know, those are the split beasts. So like that's like 90 split logbooks, right? Or whatever items you're using to split. And of course, Ferric Tiger Alphas, Ferric Wolf Alphas, and Ferric Lynx Alphas. Now, you could actually make more currency than this if you're being very attentive to the current beast market. Like, for instance, while I was farming, Krakic Vassals actually went up in price. And that meant that it probably would have been worth picking them up. But sadly, I wasn't paying attention because I was trying to do maps fast. One of the best things about this strategy is you end up with a lot of relics. Since you're doing, of course, the Sanctum fast, you're getting a bunch of relics fast. And of course, you can do the 5-to-1 recipe to get even more relics. And I've gotten a lot of really solid relics because of that, and a lot of challenge relics as well. And the Sanctum has been really rewarding over this entire period of time. Turns out when you have a build that can speed run the Sanctum, finish a Sanctum in under 30 minutes or less, and you can also get a Sanctum in under like, I mean, like fucking like what, like 16 minutes or whatever, or some shit, like depending on like if you see any beasts in the map, right? Like it's very fast and it's very rewarding at that point, because then if you get like 4 divines per run or whatever, or like 2 divines, it starts to add up. I had 50 raw divines plus however much I was spending on the sextants as well from Sanctum, just from Sanctum, just raw divine drops. And then of course, you the sextants, you get a lot of sextants, as you can tell, as I've sold all mine, and then stack decks as well. I've sold my entire stack decks. I had like 700 stack decks at the end of it and 560 awakened sextants, and those were all from Sanctum. I didn't touch altars barely at all. I clicked on them if they were good altars, but I completely ignored them. Turns out if you ignore the altars, you can do more maps for more beasts, for more cricket chimerals, for more profit. And that's why I ended up with so much currency, was because I stopped using altars and I just started going faster and faster and faster. And it got to the point where I was printing cricket chimerals like crazy. Now, of course, as well, like I said, just the relics alone makes this strategy worth it because, of course, getting really good relics is great. Eventually, I'm gonna 5-to-1 all these, and we're gonna get some really good relics. I already have some really good relics that I want to play with. Hence why I bought the Nimbus. Right, that's what the next build is gonna be that we're gonna work towards. But yeah, I wouldn't do this build if you don't have. I wouldn't do this like setup, this Atlas tree setup. This link will be in the description. I wouldn't do this Atlas tree setup if you don't have like a boss rushing Sanctum farmer. This is a very specific strategy for a very specific, build and setup. Beast farming is a little toxic because it's on the left side of the tree, and a lot of the strategies right now on the right side of the tree. And Einhar doesn't play well with the other mechanics because, like, beasts, they get really tanky if you start doing stuff like essence or like delirium and stuff like that, and you need significantly more damage to down them fast enough. And of course, you don't want to be killing a bunch of monsters, because one of the biggest problems with this, with just beast rushing, like beast farming in general, is having to deal with yellow beasts. Now, this entire strategy completely ignores yellow beasts. What we do is, with our menagerie, if we put a beast in and it's already full, it will kick out an old beast. Like the last beast that was added, like it goes in order. Like the last beast you added like 2 hours ago or whenever that was, right? And it just keeps rotating. And as long as you pluck out the good beasts as you snag them, which will be really easy because you're going fast and like it doesn't really take you much time to just open up your thing, type in what you want, like Prey Kick Chimeral, right? And then just pluck it out with a Pokeball, right? And then you're good to go, then put it in a stash. That allows you to completely ignore yellow beasts. You can sell yellow beasts. The problem is it takes a lot of time and I hate it and it's yucky. So I completely ignore yellow beasts. If you want to do it, that's fine. I was going for speed and I wanted more Kraken Chimerals. And more Kraken Chimerals equals more profit, as you can tell. But yeah, that's how I made 200 divines in like 2 days. All that being said, this has been Dread. Have a wonderful rest day wherever you're at. Bye.